What is going on, guys? I am Jehovah. Welcome to some Call of Duty Ghosts gameplay on the Xbox 360 current gen. So this is kind of the topic of discussion of today's video, is how excited I am for next generation gaming, specifically the Xbox One. I am an Xbox fanboy, and I am absolutely super excited for the Xbox One. I've had my Xbox 360 since day one. So here's kind of the story, and I think I've kind of gone over this briefly in a video previously, but for the Xbox 360, whenever it came out, I was younger. I was still in high school. I don't remember exactly what grade, but I told my mom that I wanted an Xbox 360, and she was like, well, you better fucking buy it yourself then. So I had a bunch of old game consoles and Game Boys and stuff like that, and there was a mom and pop game store in town, and I actually went and traded in all my games and all my old consoles and stuff, and got a bunch of in-store credit. And the town I live in isn't very big, and this little mom and pop game store wasn't very big either. So small, in fact, that they were actually only getting in one Xbox 360 on day one. And so as soon as I found that out, I was like, man, I've got to be the first one here that morning. They didn't even do a midnight release. They did it the morning of. So I knew I had to be the first one there the morning of on day one for the Xbox 360. And I actually skipped school. I drove to town, and I waited there in front of the store at like 5 a.m. or something like that. And it was pretty funny because I was the first one there, and there was other people that knew that they were only getting one as well. So people kept showing up, and they're like, oh man, you got here first. And I was like, yeah, sucks to be you. And so I was the first one there, and finally the owner of the shop showed up, and they were like, wow, they were like really surprised that I was there. And they opened the doors, and I went in, and I got my Xbox 360, and I'll never forget that. That was like one of the biggest like gaming moments of my life. It was so awesome. I was super, super pumped for, at that time, what was called next-gen gaming. And now, I mean, just every time a new console comes out, obviously you call it next-generation gaming. But the jump from Xbox to Xbox 360 was huge, and I had some of the launch titles like Call of Duty 2, and let's see, what else did I have? I had, oh god, what was that? The one, Perfect Dark Zero, I think is what it was called. I had that game. And I had a couple of others, and I just had so much fun looking at the graphics. That was the first Call of Duty that the first Call of Duty that I played. And that is the reason I got into Call of Duty, is because of that game, and it was a hell of a lot of fun. The online experience wasn't much in Call of Duty 2, if you guys remember. It was fun, but I honestly didn't play the multiplayer much until more recently. I'll go back and play Call of Duty 2 multiplayer every once in a while, but anyways, yeah, I just remember playing that. Perfect Dark Zero, that was a game that you could play online, a little bit better than Call of Duty 2, I guess you would say. And I remember thinking the graphics for Perfect Dark Zero were like the most amazing thing ever. And now, if you look back at it, probably would be like, what the hell is that? And that's kind of why it's so exciting. You get so used to current gen graphics, and they're like acceptable, they're great, they're fun. But when the new consoles come out, and you get those first new games on the new console and you play them, it's just amazing. I've gotten lucky enough to play the Xbox One a few times now at E3 and some other events that I've been to, and I've played Battlefield 4, and I've played Call of Duty Ghosts and stuff like that on the Xbox Ones, and the graphics are absolutely amazing. I really cannot wait. And a lot of those events, I got the opportunity to play on PC as well, like the next-gen games on PC, and then I also got to play them on Xbox One. And I can tell you from playing both that the graphics are very, very similar. The Xbox One graphics are really, really nice, and they're pushing about the same graphics, to the naked eye at least, that the PCs are pushing. So I'm really excited. I cannot wait to get my hands on one and get all these next-gen games. I'm going to be trading in my current copy of 360 Ghosts for the next-gen one and continuing on that console. That'll be my main play. That'll be everything I do will be on the Xbox One, and I am super pumped for that. I recently got to go out to LA and get my hands on Rise, the big slasher gory awesomeness game that Rise is, and it is pretty sweet. You guys will see some footage of that soon. And yeah, so I'm really excited. I can't wait for Xbox One and all the stuff that it's gonna bring to the table. I mean, obviously the graphics I'm super excited about. Also, games like Titanfall. You know, Titanfall is only going to be available on Xbox One, and I think that game is going to be the next thing, hopefully. You know, Call of Duty Ghosts is continuing with its exclusives on Xbox, like it was on 360. All the updates and stuff that are going to come out for Call of Duty Ghosts are going to be, you know, a month earlier, or well, I would assume they're definitely going to be earlier, but I don't know if about a month. That's what it was for current gen. Everything that came out for Black Ops 2 was a month earlier than PS3, so that's going to continue on Ghosts. The servers have been like massively expanded, over 300,000 servers for Xbox Live. And so the multiplayer should be way, way better. You know, hopefully not near as much lag and host advantage and all that stuff, you know, dedicated servers and all that good shit. So it's going to be really, really awesome. I can't wait. And then there's going to be all the new apps and stuff. We'll see how all that goes. You know, will I use Skype on my Xbox One? I don't know, but I'm definitely anxious to see what all it's going to provide. So I'm really excited. Let me know down in the comments if you guys are getting an Xbox One. I definitely am, and I can't wait to show you guys some next gen gameplays. So anyways, guys, this has been Jehovah. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon.